Do you know there was a time when 1 naira was equal to $1, and sometimes even stronger? Hard to believe, right? But that was Nigeria in the 1970s. The country had just struck massive oil wealth, and overnight, Nigeria became one of the richest nations in Africa. The black gold, oil, was flowing endlessly, and each day millions of barrels left our shores. And the money? It was rolling in faster than anyone could count. In fact, Nigeria was so rich that our leaders even said, money is not our problem, but how to spend it. And spend it, they did. During the oil boom, extravagance became the order of the day. Imported champagne-filled government parties. New buildings were popping up overnight, some to modernize Nigeria, but many, well, they were built because someone wanted to eat their share. So much money entered Nigeria that corruption itself became a way of life. A famous general was said to have warehouses filled with cash because there was too much to even fit in banks. Meanwhile, a teacher's salary could buy a brand new car. Students traveled abroad easily, with government paying their scholarships. Nigerians were living like kings. But as you know, when money comes too fast, it often goes even faster. By the 1980s, the oil market crashed. The golden fountain began to dry, and suddenly, the same country that once threw money around like confetti could not pay its bills. This is where the story turns dark. The government turned to the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank. They introduced what was called the Structural Adjustment Program, SAP. Now, SAP was supposed to help Nigeria recover, but ask any Nigerian who lived through the 80s, and you will hear the same thing. SAP meant suffer and pain. Under SAP, the Naira was devalued. Imagine waking up to find that the money in your pocket was suddenly worth half of what it was yesterday. Essential goods became expensive. Jobs disappeared. Industries collapsed because imported raw materials were now too costly. Farmers who once fed the nation abandoned the farms, hoping to make it big with oil. But now they had nothing to fall back on. The rich adjusted, but the poor? They fell into deep poverty. Children were pulled out of school. Families could not afford health care. One old man described SAP as the day our pockets dried up. Think about it. Just a decade earlier, Nigeria hosted FESTAC 77, a world festival of culture where billions were spent to showcase our pride. The golden mask of Queen Idia became our symbol of wealth and culture. But not long after, that same Nigeria was begging for loans, and ordinary citizens were queuing for basic food. What a painful fall, from pride to poverty, from golden oil to empty pockets. So what lesson do we take from this story? That wealth without wisdom will vanish, that corruption can turn a nation's blessing into a curse. And that history, Nigeria's history, is not just about leaders and policies, but about the millions of ordinary people who paid the price.
If you want more stories like this, hit the subscribe button.